Welcome to It's All a Show. So, politics, it's all a show. And we're got some good topics that we need to talk about and some thoughts and opinions on what may actually be and some facts. So let's get into it.
We didn't have inflation, we were economically stronger, we were energy independent, people earned more money in the process, what they were able to bring home, but around the world it was safer and stronger. We didn't have a war in Ukraine. How we got out of Afghanistan under Biden brought 13 new Gold Star families, but we just watched 5 American embassies have now had to be evacuated under President Biden. So our world is not safer, it's actually a weaker position in America. We didn't have inflation.
I'm gonna play this clip from the Speaker of the House, and he starts trying to really give some strong viewpoints under Trump's administration and what the accomplishments were and what was the status of the world before Biden. After listening to his comments and hearing what he has to say, this is what we call politics, because everything he says is only partial true because of the time frame that they were in. So if you were able to pause the earth and not let it move any further and go forward, then everything he just said would be factual. But as we know, for those who understand politics and DC, that when an administration comes into power and begins its process, whatever they pass in Congress and the president sign off, it doesn't matter which party that's there, whenever there's new laws, new bills that's being passed, they never go 100% active in that 4-year span that the presidents are in office. A lot of times presidents will run to get their second term, and within those 8 years, you'll see the fruits of their labor as they have continued. In those 4 years, though, so that he can be reelected, you use the politics of what you've signed off on and have accomplished. But as you signed off on those things, they're dated to actually go into effect much later. So which usually means that if you don't win your election, if you are up for a re-election, like if you didn't already do 8 years, those things are going to affect the next administration coming in. And as those bills roll out and become live, it makes that current administration that's in office look bad if the plans that Congress had agreed to with the president that was in office previously, they will affect the current administration that got in office, especially if it's not the same party. So this is what we call politics. You always want to use bragging points on the moment in time that you were in office. Now, these things that Kevin here speaks of, the speaker, they're irrelevant because although those things were accomplishments when they were in office, Nancy Pelosi was the speaker at the time, but still nonetheless, those things as we know today doesn't currently fit of what really happened, because a lot of those things that they passed had not good outcomes in Biden's administration. So let's listen and hear what he has to say. And you're going to either agree or disagree. All I'm going to say is you're both right. What he says is partially true because in the time frame when Trump was in office, these were things and goals that were achieved. When he left office, those things had an effect after the fact. And they can't be changed right away without an executive order from the new president coming in. So let's listen.
We didn't have inflation, we were economically stronger, we were energy independent, people earned more money in the process, what they were able to bring home, but around the world it was safer and stronger. We didn't have a war in Ukraine. How we got out of Afghanistan under Biden brought 13 new Gold Star families, but we just watched 5 American embassies have now had to be evacuated under President Biden. So our world is not safer, it's actually a weaker position in America. We didn't have inflation.